Good evening, and welcome to another edition of XY Spark. We are so glad that you decided to be a part of our conversation. The Weather Network says it's approximately it's around about -5 with wind chill of -9. It's a beautiful evening out there. I hope if you're on your way from work or you're at work right now, or you may be driving on the busy highway, or you may just be sitting down at home relaxing and listening to our podcast. We just want to say we love you, we appreciate you, and thank you for your continued support here on XY Spark. We also hope that you've been paying attention to all our advertisements. We have some big programs coming up. We have some special guests lined up who are going to be coming on the program. You can't afford to miss these special guests that we have lined up for you. We also hope that you will pay attention, and if you do need to reach out to us, please feel free to email us at Hyman, that's Hyman at xyspark.info, and we'll be more than willing to respond to any emails or any queries that you have. We continue to reiterate how important it is for us to promote healthy masculinity, and we're hoping that you have been really paying attention to all the different ideas that we have been sharing here on XY Spark. We also hope that you've been enjoying our morning time quick 6 to 10 minute pep talk that we are trying to give just as a way to start your day. And so this evening, we have a very interesting presentation for you. We do hope that you'll stay with us, and please stay tuned. We will be right
Grief
back.
and loss, trauma, mental health, alcohol and drug use, gender roles, anger management, self esteem, sexual abuse, domestic violence, and the pressures of societal norms are real life issues that affect men. Join Rolando, psychotherapist, author, life coach, and motivational speaker that has dedicated his profession to working with men to find a healthier alternative to cope and handle these stressors. Rolando believes that men are lacking in social, psychological, emotional, and spiritual support that is necessary for a lifestyle that promotes healthy masculinity. We invite you to join us on XY Spark, where we discuss issues that men face. At XY Spark, we believe the key for happier families is restoring healthy masculinity.
Thank you once again. This is Rolando, your host. We're back with you. And tonight we wanted to talk with you about the law of the ladder. The law of the ladder. And once again, we continue to just remind you that our presentation are taken from this beautiful written book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Health, that's written by John C. Maxwell himself. And we do hope that you have been paying attention to some of the pointers in here. As I do these presentations myself, I continue to get really excited because it's really helping me on a personal level to reevaluate how I'm doing, what I'm doing, and what's the motive behind what I'm doing. And one of the watchwords that I've been really latching on to is being intentional. And I'm hoping that you have been working on being intentional for the year 2021 and beyond. And so this evening, We wanted to continue our presentation as we talk about the law of the ladder, the law of the ladder. And we want to start off with a very beautiful quote here. It says, and I quote, character growth determines the height of your personal growth, end quote. Character growth determines the height of your personal growth. It's very important for us to understand and continue to explore, is there room in here for me to develop my character? Is my character the way it's supposed to be, or is it at the end? Or am I so proud and am I so pompous that I'm not recognizing that I need to work on some character development? And so, if we are going to grow personally, we have to start with character growth. We have to really start evaluating, am I growing? Is my character the way it should be? Do I need to improve on that? Do I need to be better at that piece? Do I need to really take a deeper look at the way I conduct myself, at the way I relate? Do I need to take a deeper look at how I conduct myself at home, among my peers, among my coworkers? What is the watchword that someone will use when they're talking about me? Would they say I'm kind? Would they say I'm a team player? Would they say I'm cooperative? Would they say I'm an understanding person? Would they say I'm gentle? Would they say I'm someone that they can trust and confide in? What's your character? And is there a space for your character to be better? So character growth determines the height of your personal growth and of my personal growth. Doug Fireball said this. He says this, and I quote, achievement to most people is something you do. To the higher achiever, it is something you are. End quote. Isn't this just a powerful thought to reflect on? Achievement to most people is something you do. To the higher achiever, it's something you are. What side of the spectrum do you find yourself in right now as you hear that quote? Would you consider yourself to be in that place where you have achieved? And I know for some persons they may hear this and they may think, oh whatever, who cares about that? I'm an achiever. I'm an achiever. Yes, but are you a higher achiever? And do you recognize that in the end, it's important for you to move away from that idea and recognize that, yes, I may be achiever, but I can be a higher achiever and become something greater than what I am right now. It's important to know that ambition without guidance can just be ambition. Whenever if we are someone that we're very ambitious, we need to surround ourselves with like-minded people that can help us to develop that ambition. We need to find people who can guide us so that that ambition can be properly developed and it can bear proper seed. So there needs to be proper guidance if we're going to grow, if our ambitions are going to get to that place that it is possible for it to get. So we have to start surrounding ourselves with like minded people and people who are able to give us what I call some kind of a platform or springboard upon which we can launch from. To be a success, to be a success means we need to think like a success. You might be familiar with the whole old expression, you are what you are becoming. If you're not able to envision success, if you're not able to be success or think like success, it's going to be a lot more challenging for you to be successful. So you are what you are becoming. And every single day, you should be challenging yourself to start living within the reality of the dream that you have. That yes, I am success. I am going to be successful. I am on the right path. This is the direction that I want to take. We have to remember that in the end, it's going to be very important how we process that and how we develop that and how we're going to take hold of that and make it work for us. It's important for us to really continue to tackle some subjects as it relates to the law of the ladder. There are some important subjects that we need to be able to tackle. We need to tackle subjects such as restraint and what and how do I practice that? How do I make that become something that I'm paying attention to? We need to tackle subjects like generosity and what are the assets and what are the nuggets rather of generosity. We need to tackle the subject of hard work and what is your idea of hard work and how much of it do you think you're going to need to do in order to get to your goal. What about motives? What are your motives? And how do I evaluate my motives as I continue to grow and work towards it? What about honesty and patience? We're going to need a lot of that if we are going to be successful. There are persons who are successful, but if you fall back on their track record, honesty was not one of those things that they could be described as being honest. Patience, humility. The most successful person in the world you could be, but if you're not humble, how are you viewed? Because in the end, we have got to really recognize that because we are not independent of ourselves, if we are not humble, it's going to be harder for persons to work with us or reach out to us or see us as good team players. So we have to really look at the idea of being humble. And then productivity and dependability. How are we working through that? And then there's the idea of temper and attitude. What's your temperament? What attitude do you have? And then you have the idea of facts and goals and planning. We want to know, how do we tackle these subjects? And what's our understanding of these subjects? What about boundaries and proper thinking? Am I able to take that step back and say, hey, no, this thinking is not healthy, it's not right, I need to change it? Common sense. Everyone sometimes think they have common sense when we really check it, we have sense but not common sense. Prosperity and emotions. How are we controlling our emotions? How are we aiming and working towards prosperity? Sowing and direction, correction and conflict. We've got to learn proper conflict resolution if we are working on growth and personal development. Then there's pressure and criticism. When we fall under pressure and we face criticism, how do we deal with that? When we face judgment and have confrontation, how do we deal with that? And here's one of the big ones here: forgiveness. Forgiveness. How do we tackle that subject? And what does forgiveness look like in your world? And then we talk about ethics and ownership, and how we do that. Ambition and listening. Are you a good listener? Am I a good listener? Is listening important as I seek to grow and become a success? Then we have things like co-signing and responsibility, debt and saving, developing people. Are you empowering and training other leaders, other people around you? Understanding people, inspiration and influence. And we want to pay some attention to how important these things are as we grow and as we become more and more and more empowered and as we become more and more successful and as personal development becomes more and more valuable to us. There's a lot of value in having a balanced character. We can have a character, but character needs to be balanced. Character needs to really has all the important elements that's going to help us to be more and more and more savvy as we interact with the community. So we want to really note that there has to be a lot of value in character. You know, James James Coase and Barry Posner, they said this, and I quote, in almost every survey conducted, honesty has been selected more often than any other leadership characteristic. So if you are a leader, you want to be an honest leader. You want to be a leader that is transparent so that you don't lose sleep or you don't go to bed with a guilty conscience. You want to practice honesty. Norman Schwarzkopf said this, quote, 99% of leadership failures are failures of character, end quote. Did you hear that? 99% of leadership failures are failures of character. So I want to say to you this evening that your personal growth becomes not as potent as it should be if you're not paying some attention to ways to build up and improve your character. That is very, very important. There are some rungs there are some rungs on our character ladders that we want to address. We want to address some of those rungs. Number one is this is I will focus on being better on the inside than on the outside because character matters. So we want to pay some attention to how things are going on the inside. And you know, the expression, one of the things that I say a lot is what's on the inside will automatically be seen on the outside. So you and I want to pay some attention to what's going on the inside and how do I get that healing, how do I restore my sense of self and well-being from the inside. Remember, it is normal, the writer says that I believe it is a normal human desire to be concerned about how we look on the outside, but then it says there's nothing wrong with that. What can get us in trouble is worrying more about how we look on the outside than about how we really are on the inside. That is so, so powerful because we worry a lot about what's going on the outside without realizing that we can try as we must. What's on the inside is going to come out eventually. You must remember this: the inside influences the outside. Did you catch that? The inside influences the outside. So, whether we believe it or not, we want to know this that what we believe really matters. We reap what we sow. What we do or neglect to do in the privacy of our daily lives impacts who we are. Can I read that again? Let me read that again. What we believe really matters. We reap what we sow. What we do or neglect to do in the privacy of our daily lives impacts who we are. So, what are you doing? What am I doing? Am I paying attention? It says here, if you or me neglect your heart, mind, and soul, it changes who you are on the outside as well as on the inside. Wow, what a powerful self searching comment. I would love to read it for you again. Can I read it for you again? Let me go to it again. It says, and I quote, "What we believe really matters. We reap what we sow. What we do or neglect to do in the privacy of our daily lives impacts who we are. If you neglect your heart, mind, and soul, it changes who you are on the outside as well as on the inside." End quote. This is saying that when you get right down to it, you have a responsibility to do the work that needs to be done so that you can get the healing that's required so that you can be a healthier human being. We're talking about personal development and healthy masculinity. And based on that quote that I just read, we need to be a lot more honest with ourselves as men and stop playing the fool and go forward and get help to deal with those internal struggles that we find we are facing. That's the realities. That's the reality, guys. It says here, inside victories precede outside ones. So you and I, if you're looking for victory, it starts within. And why it starts within is this, guys. What's happening within you and what's happening within me is the foundation of who we are. It's not what's going on outside. So the thing that's happening within you and within me is the foundation of who we are. So inside victories precede outside ones. If you do the things you need to do when you need to do them, then someday you can do the things you want to do when you want to do them. In other words, before you can do, you must be. This is so sweet. I don't know if you're enjoying this as much as I am, but this is so sweet. This is sending a fresh aroma of inspiration and encouragement into my soul this evening. Just reading this and capturing it. It's so powerful. It says, if you do the things you need to do when you need to do them, then someday you can do the things you want to do when you want to do them. That is powerful. And I want to just say to you that my takeaway from this is that healing begins within me. Can you say that? Healing begins within me. You and I have got to take responsibility for the healing process to begin from within so that I can be healthier without. Wow. Wow. Our outside development is totally within our control. Our what? Our outside development is totally within our control. It says we often cannot determine what happens to us, but we can always determine what happens within us. That's what Jim Rohn said. It says we often cannot determine what happens to us, but we can always determine what happens within us. This is deep psychological thinking here. This challenges us a lot to take a step back and do immediate introspection. It says character, and catch this now, guys. Character is a quality that embodies many important traits such as integrity, courage, perseverance, confidence, and wisdom. Unlike your fingerprints that you were born with and can't change, character is something you can create within yourself and must take responsibility for changing. Don't ever tell yourself that you're too old or it's too late. It's a lie. Is it okay for me to say that, guys? It is a lie. It is not true. You can change. You can be different. You can turn over a new leaf. You have the key to doing that. Your past does not determine your future. Your past does not determine your present. You can change it starting right now. The skill is in your hands. And I want you to start believing in yourself a little bit more. Remember this, it's important to capture that and move forward with that. Here's a second point. Here's a second point. It says, I will follow the golden rule. People matter. I will follow the golden rule. People matter. People do matter. Don't ignore that. Don't tell yourself, I don't care about anybody. I'm going to say this to someone who's listening. Get away from that I don't care attitude. It's killing you. It's disabling you. It's crippling you. It's standing in your way of success. It's making you worse off than better off. Don't you see it? Open your eyes and look for a minute and recognize that the reality is I've got to do something different because I am killing my own opportunities of growth. Come on, man. Get out of that, man. Break out of that attitude, man. It's never too late, I'm telling you. It is never too late. You can do it. Now, here's something that's important. This came from the message. This came from the message. It says, here is a simple rule of thumb, guide for behavior. Ask yourself what you want people to do for you, then grab the initiative and do it for them. Did you catch that? Here is a simple rule of thumb, guide for behavior. Ask yourself what you want people to do for you, then grab the initiative and do it for them. That is what it takes. You have got to be more deliberate. You have got to take more responsibility for the change that you're expecting. You know, sometimes we sit around and we blame the community and we blame society and we blame the government. The government can't do anything to change you. You've got to do that on your own. I'm saying it's time to wake up, guys. This is a new era. Your change is waiting on you, just knocking at your heart's door, just knocking at your conscience, just knocking at your psyche right now. Stop fighting and start growing. Point number 3 says this: I will teach only what I believe. Passion matters. Passion matters. You see, it's important for us to know that if you believe it, you can achieve it. It's not a cliche. You've heard it before, right? But it's a fact. If you believe it, you can achieve it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Remember, borrowed beliefs have no passion, therefore no power. So if you're believing something because it's what your body believes or your friend, no, you have got to have a passion for something. You've got to tap into your own resources. You've got to find a flame that resonates with you, and then you've got to start chipping away at it and make it your own. It's important that we understand that character, and developing the right character is going to help us significantly to move over into a new era, a new place. Do you know what they call a speaker who teaches what he doesn't believe? A hypocrite. A hypocrite. Because he's teaching something. And you know, guys, that's why I'm so passionate about XY Spark, because I am truly, truly, and I'm fully persuaded that if there are healthier men, I'm not talking about good men, I'm talking about healthier men, we'll have happier families. That's why we're promoting a holistic masculinity here at XY Spark. We're saying to men that we can do better and we have the skill to do it and we need to just start doing it. But the doing of it is going to come to fruition when we start believing that we have the skills to do it. Recognize as we grow that everyone may have weakness. Everyone has weakness. That's a fact. Rick Warren, he gives good advice about how to remain humble. He suggests admitting our weaknesses, being patient with others' weaknesses, and being open to correction. Isn't that sweet? Do you love that? Most of us don't like that idea, being open to correction. If you're a know it all, you're in trouble. Oh, guys, man, I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I find it funny, but I know a lot of guys who are, they are know it all. They're not humble. They're not allowing themselves to be taught anything. You have to be humble enough so your kids can teach you, your partner can teach you. You have to learn the value of that, or you're in trouble. Plain said, there's no prettier way to say it. If you are listening and you're not humble, you've got to start being more humble. It will serve you more good. I'm telling you, be teachable, be willing to serve others, be grateful. Why is it so hard for you to say thank you and to show appreciation? Be grateful, be teachable, be willing to serve others. Listen to this quote. It says here, those who drink the water must remember those who dug the well. Yeah, get away from that entitlement mentality. The water that you're drinking, someone worked so that you could have gotten it. Remember those who dug the well. Okay? I will strive to finish well. Faithfulness matters. Yes, strive. Faithfulness matters. If you take control of your behavior, your emotions will fall into place. So many of us, we are out of control. So much. Our emotions take us on a wild goose chase every single day of our lives or every other day. And we're not recognizing that maybe it's time for us to break the back of that monster and be more emotionally aware as we interact and participate in the community and in our homes. We want to challenge that. We want to take control of those behaviors so that our emotions can fall into place. The stronger your character, the greater your growth potential. The stronger your character and my character is, the greater the growth potential. I want to reiterate for you again those key assets that's needed to build that, what I call, unshakable character. Here are the nuggets. I'm repeating them for you. We need integrity, courage, perseverance, confidence, and wisdom. Let me say it for you again. Integrity, courage, perseverance, confidence, and wisdom. These are some of the qualities that's embodied in a healthy, solid character. How is it with you? If you desire to grow and reach your potential, you must pay more attention to your character than to your success. Did you hear that? Let me say it again. If we desire to grow and reach our potential, we must pay more attention to our character than to our success. We must recognize that personal growth means more than expanding our minds and adding to our skills. It means increasing our capacity as human beings. Wow. Wow. What a beautiful, beautiful perspective. What a beautiful perspective. It means Maintaining core integrity, even when it hurts. It means being who we should be, not just being where we want to be. It means maturing our souls. You know something, guys? I want to tell you this again, healthy masculinity. And I want to just add this on here. Healthy masculinity is paying attention to the key elements that helps to promote a unique character that's second to none. If we're going to apply the law of the ladder to our lives, this is what Maxwell says. He says, assess where you have put most of your focus up until this point in your life. Has it been on improving on the inside or on the outside? Second point, plan to spend time in the coming months to regularly serve others. Putting aside your own agenda and putting others first will help you to develop humility, character, and others mindedness. Point number three. Point number three, character cannot be summoned at the moment of crisis if it has been squandered by years of compromise and rationalization. How are you working on developing your character? What are the things that you've been doing to build that character? I want to say to you, all my XY Spark listeners, and those who are joining us this evening for the first time, we want to say to you, go forth and recognize that the law of the ladder is bringing us back to one big reality, that character is one of the key ingredients that we need in order for us to have success. And if we miss that, we would have been counterproductive. We would have not been laying the right foundations. And in the end, we may end up not reaching to where we ideally would like to go. So, as usual, guys, we're so grateful that you decided to be a part of our discussion and that you joined us here on our broadcast. We continue to say thank you for joining us, guys. We love you. As usual, this is Rolando. Join us tomorrow when we're having a live Zoom meeting. More men can come into the room. If you'd like to be a part of that, just email us at hyman@xyspark.info. We'll send you the link. We're having a big meeting tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where men can just come and we're just going to talk and reason together. In the meantime, you take care. We love you. This is Rolando saying peace out, and we will talk to you again real soon. Have a great day.
Please join Rolando next time on XY Spark as he engages us in practical discussions that promotes healthy masculinity and challenge men to live extraordinary lives. At XY Spark, we believe the key for happier families is restoring healthy masculinity.